Hey guys, Bingo Says over here, and today I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to save battery on the iPhone 5s. As you can see, we have the iPhone 5s dual flash right there, and it's very simple. As you all know, the iPhone 5s is a powerhouse to draining your battery. Before doing this trick and these modifications to my phone, I used to have very bad battery life, and I'll have to charge my phone around 3 or 4 times during the day so I could just make it through the whole day. And a day for me will be around 7 a.m. up to 11 or 12 a.m. So it's a pretty long day, and I used to be able to charge, the phone a couple times, but by making these couple mods, I was able to, maybe not get through the whole day depending on the usage of the phone, but to get through most of the day. So let's go ahead and actually show you what I mean by this modification. So the first one is actually to stop using the Touch ID. As you can see, I don't have it activated, and that actually saves me a ton of battery because it doesn't have the sensor over here in the home button thinking and recognizing my fingerprint. So that's very, very useful. So if we go ahead and slide, and let me put the phone off to the side for a little bit so I can put my password. And as you can see, just by putting the password, it's going to be faster, and sometimes it's going to drain less battery. So that'll be my first tip to stop using Touch ID as much as you can. If you really need to save battery and it comes down to the wire to saving battery, just stop using it and use the passcode. Sorry about that, that's my Google Plus. So the next tip I wanted to show you is very basic. It's here on this menu right here, and it's to actually turn off the Bluetooth if you're not gonna be using it, and enable airplane mode if you're down to the wired. Enable that, and it's gonna save you a ton of battery because it's gonna turn off all the radios. The third tip I want to go ahead and show you is to kill all the unnecessary apps that you're not using. You can do this two at a time, and that's gonna stop saving. That's gonna stop the app from refreshing and be running on the background, which is very important to battery saving overall. And that's as far as basic as we could go. But now, if we go into the settings, we're gonna go ahead and dig a little bit deeper into how we can save battery. And my first tip, let me go ahead and adjust the focus over here so you guys can see a little bit better. And the first thing I wanted to show you in the settings menu will be here where it says cellular. And if you're not using LTE, you can just go ahead, you're gonna have it like that enabled. You can actually go ahead and disable it, and you're still gonna get 4G, but you're not gonna be having LTE, and that is a big battery drainer because it's gonna be trying to push for those super fast download speeds. And if you're just gonna be using Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you're gonna do fine with just 4G. Trust me. And just if it comes down to the wire, you want to go ahead and turn off cellular data, which is going to turn all the radios off, sort of like airplane mode. But that's if you're really down to the wire where you have 20% battery left and you're like on that road trip that you need to get to somewhere, and you know just keep that in mind. So that's the first part I wanted to go ahead and show you. Personal hotspot, if you're not using it, please have it off. That's very important. And if we go to privacy, if you're not using your GPS and related apps that need the GPS signal to locate your position, just go ahead and turn that off. And before you turn it off, if you do happen to have that on all the time and you like that option to have it on all the time, make sure that you turn off the apps that you don't want or you don't need your location to be precise in that application. For example, I don't need CNN to be knowing my location because news are just nationwide or worldwide depending on where you are. And Google, sometimes you might need that location if you're looking for a restaurant or a phone number. And just go ahead through your apps and see which apps you want to share your location with and whatnot, and that's gonna save you battery overall. Trust me. But if you're not using your GPS at all, just go ahead and turn it off, and everything will be off, and that's gonna save you battery, like I said. And the next tip over here, there's nothing over here in privacy that could save you a substantial amount of battery. But if we go ahead and go to general, there's going to be a few things over here. And like I said, you don't have to do this all at the same time. You could just vary it and accommodate it to your daily use, and turn some of these off and on depending on the uses on your iPhone 5s, like I said. But if you're down to the wire, make sure you do all of these that I'm saying from the beginning of the video up till now and to the end of the video. And like I said, if it's down to the wire. But if not, you can actually go ahead and play with the options, so you can see where you're going to go ahead and actually have a better battery life. So the next one, first off, is going to be in accessibility. And this one right over here, let me try and find it, reduce motion. You're going to have it off. So that means that the background on the phone is going to be moving constantly depending on how you turn your phone, and that drains your battery. It's like a live background on the Android devices, but make sure you reduce the motion, and it's going to stop the background from moving a lot, and that's very, very good to save battery life. Sorry for repeating myself, I don't know why. And the next part over here, let me see, there's nothing over here. You can play with all of these settings depending on how you want to use your phone, but nothing else will really save your battery over here. So if we go back to general and then we go to this one, background app refresh, man, that's a big one right here. And this is basically what's basically doing, it's refreshing these apps that show you here. They're gonna be refreshing on the background, and as you can see, it's also doing location at the same time, so that's gonna drain a lot of battery. So for example, if you don't want this app, for example Studio, I don't need it to be doing background refreshes and doing all that kind of business, especially BBM. I don't want that, so I just go ahead and actually turn it off, and it's not gonna be doing that background app refresh. And if you for example are at night and you don't have a charger, you want to turn everything off. So that's gonna enable the phone to not send you notifications every time you get an email. It's not gonna let the phone use location services. Uh, only maybe when you have Wi-Fi sometimes. And it says here too, turning off apps may help preserve battery life. It also says this right there. So like I said, guys, those are my major tips on how to save battery. And the last one, Touch ID, but I went over that when unlocking the phone, which is another big one. But just follow these simple steps and you'll be able to save quite amount of battery, and you should be able to get through the whole day. I will be testing out the next few days, and if you guys have any other methods or any other tips that you can share with the whole audience, even with me, because I'm still a learner here when it comes to battery life and this iPhone 5s, because really I've had many iPhones before, but this just been the worst because I'm a power user. I use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything, and this just been the worst. And I just got out of the Note 3, and the Note 3 it just had an amazing battery. I could use it all day and it will last me through the whole day, like 24 hours worth of battery. And when I got to the 5S, it's completely insane how quickly it dies. So I have those two perspectives. I love both phones, don't get me wrong. They're good for different things. But like I said, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, Google Plus, and if you want to go ahead and follow me on Instagram, you can actually go ahead and do that. I'll show you my username. There you go, Dice Snowman. And if you have any questions, you could just ask me there, and I'll try to answer it as fast as I can. And it's a good way to let you know when I'm pushing video, especially for my Spanish channel. And this one, usually if I'm doing Spanish, I'm also pushing video for this one, so it kind of lets you know when I'm pushing new videos out. So thank you guys, I won't waste more of your time, and have a good day, and ladies too. Bye.